Yeah, I'm good to go when you are.
All right. And you're live.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another installment of the Harrisburg University webinar series. Once again, my name is Aaron Spina. I am the Associate Director of Admissions here with Harrisburg University of Science and Technology. And today we have another academic treat for you here. We're here to talk about our MEBA program at HU. So MEBA for short is Management, Entrepreneurship, and Business Administration. So if you want to learn about aspects of business, entrepreneurship, analytics, starting your own business, or just what we have to offer at the university and how STEM can correlate to that, you're definitely in the right place. So as always, if you've attended before, you know these webinars are recorded. So if by chance you get cut out, for example, or you just want to go back and rewatch them at any time, we can always follow up with a link for you, so that way you can get the information at a later time. And also too, we would love to hear your questions. We have time built in at the end, so that way our esteemed panel here can go ahead and answer questions for you. Today I have Dr. Stephen Penn. I also have Dr. Barb Geisler, and I also have a treat for you as well today. We have one of our MEBA students here, Rachel Skinner. So Rachel is going to be popping in and out as well. And I just want to let you know, if you actually have questions related to what it's like to be a student at HU in the MEBA program, feel free to ask those out to Rachel as well. But without further ado, I want to throw it over to Dr. Stephen Penn, so that way he can talk to you a little more about the program. So Stephen, go ahead and take it away.
Thanks, Aaron. Thanks for the introduction. There's several of us here, right? Aaron, there's Dr. Geisler, there's me, there's Rachel. Any questions that you have, we will answer them within this hour, right? Towards the end. I want to talk a few minutes about MEBA. I'm going to try and keep it to a few minutes. I love talking about MEBA. I could talk about it all day, but they've only given me so much time. So I'll try to keep it within just a little bit. I'm going to share my screen and pull up some slides so that you can get a little bit of visual as I'm talking. So I'll share my screen here, and then I'm going to pull up. So you should be looking at a blue screen right now, right? MEBA, Management, Entrepreneurship, and Business Administration. That's actually a lot, right? A lot of words, but really MEBA is a business program within a School of Science and Technology. So the business part, we like the management. Am I still on?
Yes, you are.
Okay, good. Okay, I'm getting a little message here that my network quality is not. Maybe there's a lot of network usage in my neighborhood. So technology, right? I mean, technology is driving this online meeting, and yet it's business, right? For the school, and yet we're still having network issues, right? That's how important technology is. It is to business. So the management part within MEBA, we study what happens inside a business. The business administration part, we learn how that business interacts with the surrounding, and then the entrepreneurship part is how do we go from not having a business to actually starting one and getting it up and running, right? So inside, outside, and the lifetime of a business. That's what we study within the business program, and we do it within the School of Science and Technology. Now, why do we have that program that studies those things about business when science and technology is all around us? And the point that I was making about the internet just a few seconds ago is that science and technology drives business. Everything is business, and business is everything. If you come up with a solution, then you turn that solution into a viable product. What do I mean by that exactly? If you want to study business, you want to be where the innovation is, right? This is the 21st century. For the last few decades, companies like Facebook and Amazon and Netflix and Google and Microsoft and all of these companies have been driving business, and they've been driving business in a very scientific way and a very technological way. So if you really want to be a part of business in the 21st century, and this is your century, right? This is your century. This is the one that you were born in, you're growing up in, and don't you want to be where the innovation is over the next 80 years, right? Everything is business, therefore science, technology, and business team up to create innovation. Okay, so how do we do that? We do that by teaching in a very interdisciplinary approach. We love teaching different ideas from different fields and saying, here's the business aspect of this, right? Here's a different way of thinking about this thing. Here's how people used to do it, and here's how people are doing it now. How are people going to do this in the future, right? Whatever that means. So we encourage you to take classes as a business major, to take classes in biotech, computer science, forensics, biology, right? All of these different interactive media, all of these different approaches. So what that means is that the professors here at HU team up, right? There's this network of professors, and I might be talking to a psychologist within a few minutes, and then go down the hallway and I'm talking to a biologist, and then in a few minutes I'm talking to somebody who teaches in economics, right? That's Harrisburg University, this interdisciplinary approach to business, right? Okay, let me give you some examples of what I'm talking about, okay? So before we jump in these examples, I want to stress that I'm trying to give you two pieces of information in this presentation. One is why we have a business program in the science and technology, right? Why does that exist? And my answer is innovation, right? That's my answer to that question. The second question that I'm trying to answer for you today is, what does that mean to you? As a student here, what does that mean? How does that help you, right? Okay, so I'm trying to answer the question why we have a school of business within science and technology. Why do we push science and technology so much in business? Okay, here's my first example of that. Amazon, right? Amazon. I've bought things from Amazon. I know my neighbor has bought things from Amazon because I see the Amazon cardboard boxes on the front porch. Who hasn't bought stuff from Amazon, right? So imagine a spreadsheet of data, a table of data, a big sheet of paper, huge sheet of paper, where every column on this spreadsheet is something Amazon sells, a product, right? Every column is a product that Amazon sells. Amazon sells a lot of products. So this is a huge spreadsheet, right? Every row in this spreadsheet is a customer. So we've got, how many columns of data do we have in this spreadsheet that Amazon, right? All these products and all these customers. Okay, let's find the row that represents you. And we're gonna see, of all the products that Amazon sells, we're gonna see which ones you've bought and which ones you haven't. So Amazon knows which products you've bought, right? And which ones you haven't. Let's get rid of all the rows, all the customers that have not bought everything that you've bought. So now the spreadsheets are much shorter, right? And I'm looking at everybody who has bought everything that you've bought. There's probably quite a number of people that have bought everything that you've bought from Amazon, plus a little bit more. What did they buy, right? If they bought everything that you bought, what else did they buy? And my real question is, what are you going to buy next? How likely is it that you're going to follow a pattern and buy something that those other individuals have also bought? I might even ask, this is the month of May. What sells good in May? Is there something that they've bought that you haven't yet that sells high in May? I wonder what's going to appear at the bottom of the Amazon screen when you log on to Amazon, right? I mean, Amazon knows this. So Amazon is putting effort into showing you things that you're likely to be interested in order to increase their sales, right? Now that's a simple example of just looking at data, right? And being data driven, right? Being data driven and sales at Amazon. But now we're not just interested in technology that Amazon uses, right? If we're going to start a business, we're going to start kind of small, right? Me, you, another person, another student at HU, we might start a business. Let's start a cupcake business. I love cupcakes. I love cupcakes. Maybe I could say that again, right? I love cupcakes, right? So let's talk about business and cupcakes. What's better than that, right? Okay, we sell cupcakes. We open a business, people come in, buy cupcakes. At the end of the day, we close, we come in the next morning, really, really early. We bake the cupcakes. They're fresh that day. We sell out of cupcakes. Business is good, right? We want to sell more cupcakes than that, right? We want to make a bunch of cupcakes and sell a bunch of cupcakes. So we start putting on sales. Buy one, get one at half price, right? Buy 6 donuts, you get a discount. Different flavors, right? We offer different flavors. Every day is a different flavor. We always offer vanilla. We always offer chocolate, but who knows? A root beer cupcake might sell, right? Raspberry cupcakes. What do you think sells better, raspberry or root beer? What do you think sells better together? Like when somebody comes in, we want them to buy more than one cupcake, right? So what flavors do they buy? What flavors do they buy together? That's an interesting question. I'm not asking how many cupcakes they buy, but what combinations of flavors they buy. Okay, let's look at some receipts. Here's 3 receipts. A person comes in, they buy chocolate, raspberry, and lemon, and they're happy and they walk away. That's a good sell, right? 3 cupcakes in one sell, right? Another customer comes in, they buy root beer, Boston cream, cinnamon, and chocolate. That's a great sell, right? That's 4 cupcakes in one sell. That's excellent. Another customer comes in, buys lemon, raspberry, and peanut butter. Okay, I look at those receipts. Everything is good. Everything's good. I come in the next morning. What flavors of cupcakes am I going to bake that morning? What combinations sell good together? Lemon and raspberry appear together on 2 of the 3 receipts. I think I'm going to make raspberry, lemon, chocolate, and vanilla. Would that help increase sales? Right? I'm looking at data and I'm drawing conclusions, right? I'm kind of being a scientist when it comes to selling cupcakes. I'm being as smart as I can be. Okay, let's look at that. Now, there's a little bit of math here in when you look at more than 3 receipts, right? Let's say you look at 3,000 receipts or 3 million receipts, or your Walmart or somebody else, right? I mean, imagine Walmart, all the stores they have, all the cash registers they have, all the receipts they produce in 24 hours. Somebody's going through them, right? They don't go through and read them, but they go through those receipts mathematically. And they come up with things like this. When raspberry is on the receipt, which happens 2 out of 3 times, right? That was the previous slide, 2 receipts out of 3 receipts had raspberry on it. Lemon's also there 100% of that time. So when raspberry is there, you can count on lemon also being there. So if you were Walmart, right? What are the odds that raspberry cupcakes are sitting right next to lemon cupcakes in order to generate more sales, right? So this is technology that we can put in a startup. This is technology that we can put in a huge corporation, and this is business in the 21st century. Okay, one more example, just one more example to drive home the point. If you like puzzles, right? If you like puzzles, let's talk about how we can take that, right, and apply it to business. So we got some blue X's and some white stars, right? Okay, here's a puzzle. I'm going to challenge you to draw lines that separate the X's, the blue X's from the white stars. You can draw as many lines. You can think of them as fences. You can think of them as barriers, walls, lines. Draw as few lines as you can, but they have to be either straight across, level straight across, or straight up and down. You can't draw lines at an angle. Okay? You can only draw lines that are straight up and down or straight across, left and right, horizontal and vertical. So where would you put the first line in order to separate as many blue X's from as many white stars as possible? It's a puzzle, right? Because we're going to try and do this as few lines as possible. It's kind of a math problem, actually. I think the very first line would be a vertical line, and see the blue X's, the blue crosses on the left. There's 4 blue crosses on the left. I think if we drew a line, I think the first line should be a vertical line between the blue X's and the white stars. That should be the first one. Now the next one, maybe another vertical line that separates the 2 white stars in the middle from the other items on the right. Maybe that would be the second line we would draw. But eventually we would have enough lines drawn that there's a barrier between every blue X and every white star. Okay, so how do we take that puzzle, that theoretical puzzle, and we say we can solve a problem some way, somehow, right? Let's say I'm gonna pick a politician. I'm just gonna pick a politician. I don't mean anything about it. A politician from the past. Let's pick Barack Obama. Okay, he's running for office. It's 2008. This is over 10 years ago, right? 12 years ago. He's running for office. He wants to be president of the United States, and he needs to start sending out emails, right, in order to generate money and donations for his campaign so that he can be president. And he was actually known for this 12 years ago. This is running for president, in the modern age, right? So he wrote several different emails. He had staff. He had plenty of people, right? Together they wrote some great emails, but they were very different emails. And he knew who should get which email. So he wrote 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 different emails, and he divided up all the people that could donate money to his campaign, right? And to however many, if he had 10 emails, he would divide up the potential donors to his campaign into 10 groups and then send them each one of those emails. So if you have a hot topic, right, or a particular issue, he would send you the email that talks about that issue, right, and not something else, in order to generate as much donations so that he has more money, so that he can have a bigger campaign, so that he can win president. And he did. He used this technique, solving a puzzle, drawing lines. And in 2008, 2009, right? 2008, he won the election. 2009, he's sworn in, and he's sitting in the Oval Office. That's how powerful math and science and technology can be in business. Okay, so that's my proof for why innovation is so important in business, and why we have it here, why we have a business program here in science and technology, because that's where the innovation is. Okay, so now my second part is, what does that mean to you, right? It's important to you because I'm answering the question right now. I'm saying why I think it's important, but really what's important is how you answer the question. How are you going to answer the question, what is business in the 21st century? Okay, let's take an example that's happening right now, right? My 3 previous examples were what's happened in the past, right? Barack Obama in 2008, that's over 10 years ago, right? COVID-19 is happening right now. People are changing the way they work. Supply chains are changing. Did you know that on average, the typical household in America, this is on average, buys half their food from grocery stores and half their food from restaurants? About half and half. Well, now a lot of restaurants are shut down, or you can only do curbside, right? So what does that mean for grocery stores? Their sales are going to go up. And what's been happening? Well, their sales went up and shelves became a little empty. That creates a problem. Not only does it create a problem, it creates an opportunity. It's an opportunity for someone to come in and solve that problem and help other people. So if you come up with an idea that helps other people, you can be innovative and turn that into a solution that you can go help lots of people. Okay, so e-commerce, supply chains, COVID-19 is changing things. So my question, right, is how do you view business in the 21st century? Because it's here, right? We're in the 21st century, business is being disrupted, that creates opportunity, right? Okay, so how do we teach it? What does that mean to you, right? We have program goals in this business program from top to bottom, from left to right. We want to teach you 4 things. We want to teach you how to recognize business opportunities, whether it's COVID-19 and supply chains of food and restaurants and grocery stores, right? We do have students right now that are studying grocery stores. You may think that that's a little boring on top, but really that's a huge issue right now. Huge issue. We have students doing experiential learning, studying that right now. How to open up a grocery store with this disruption going on. How do you recognize business opportunities? As soon as you recognize a business opportunity, you want to plan for it. Okay, how do we take that solution and move it out to a real world company that offers that to as many people as possible? That's planning. Okay, how do you plan for that? What resources do you need? Who are your customers? How are you going to reach out to them? How are you going to get your word out, right? How are you going to advertise? How are you going to market, right? That's planning. So when you start doing that, you start involving other people, right? I mean, it takes a team to come up with something that's a creative idea and turn it into a viable solution. That's a process that takes a team of people. So you got to get along with people. So we teach teamwork, right? Pretty simple. You got to get along with people because people have different skills and different backgrounds, different ideas and diversity, and these are great things. That's the third thing that we teach. You put those three things together, and what are you really doing? You're problem solving. That's what you're doing. You're constantly problem solving, but you're problem solving in a context, in a complex system, right? You're problem solving where you have to take ethical issues, legal issues, societal issues, right? Economic issues, all of these things. You blend them all together. You're problem solving. You're constantly problem solving in business in the 21st century. Okay, so that's what we teach. Okay, now you have choices here. Okay, and when I said I want to know how you answer that question, I'm very serious. We offer concentrations. Concentrations are kind of like sub majors, like mini majors within a major. We call them concentrations. We have entrepreneurship, marketing, healthcare, business analytics. We're adding more all the time. We're growing, right? We're innovative too, right? Business analytics, the one on the right, that's my favorite. Business analytics is where you're taking the data and trying to use it to make informed decisions, right? We don't always use gut instinct. There are times when you need to go on gut instinct. There are times, right? You just know something, right? But we also want to back that up with data and be informed and be analytical. And the examples that I was using before, the cupcakes, the blue crosses and stars, those are examples of business analytics. Now, why do we do that, right? The examples I gave you about the cupcakes and Walmart and Barack Obama kind of moves over into the marketing area. That's where that's the mission of marketing is to get people to know your company and what it does and what you offer. That's marketing, and that is so data driven these days. There's a company that loves to hire our graduates. They're a marketing research firm. They do research within the field of marketing for other companies. One of their requirements is that everybody knows Python programming in their company. Everybody. You may not do it, right? But you know how to talk to a programmer because everything is so data driven in marketing, technology driven, right? We also talk about entrepreneurship in MEBA a lot. Entrepreneurship is you starting a company. You may have an idea for a company that you did a Shark Tank in your high school, right? May or may not. It's okay. We have a lot of students that have a drive to start their own company, whether it's starting a restaurant, starting a grocery store, starting a clothing line, starting a cosmetics company, starting an entertainment company, a video production company. We have students that are doing all those things. That's entrepreneurship. How do you go from not having a company to being your own boss? That is challenging. That is tough. That's hard. That's ambitious, right? So our goal, right, as Dr. Geisler's here with me, Rachel's here with me. We have other professors. We're a team. There's lots of us here to help you. We want to be mentors when you go out and do these things. What I mean by that is that we want you to go do these things, right? Right? We'll back you, but we want you to go do these things. One way that we do that is through experiential learning. Every program, every degree here at HU across the board, from computer science to interactive media to to information technology, all does experiential learning. And within MEBA, you can start a business. You can, students have started businesses through experiential learning. They do project 1, internship, project 2. So the idea is that in project 1, you talk to an advisor, you come up with an idea, you write a contract. It's a real contract. You get signatures. This is what I'm going to do. This is what I want to learn about. This is what I'm interested in. Then in the second part, another semester, following semester, you go do it. Now, the internship can be anything. You can go to work for someone and get a paid internship, or you can do research within the university. You can do all kinds of things. You're with an advisor the whole time, and you are discussing things like, what is your interest? Where do you want to go? What do you want to do after you graduate? What ideas do you have? Go do it in the internship. Once you've done it, right? You've done project 1 where you've studied it. Now you've done it. Now we want you to think about it. What happened? What worked? What didn't work? Right? If you're going to be innovative and you're going to be an entrepreneur, right? You're going to fail at some point, and that's okay. We want you to reflect on that failure and go, okay, I figured out why that happened. I'm going to try it again. I'm going to change something, and I'm going to do it again. Right? That's what we want you. We want you to learn that process. We want you to live that process. We want you to get like intimately familiar with that process, because change, complexity, technology, science, business, that's the age that we live in. Okay. Whew. Moving right along. All right. We have faculty, mentors, and resources. We have lots of people backing you up. When you have an idea, right? This is this one slide, this one picture, the light bulb in the cloud, right? When you have that idea, there's not just me, there's not just Dr. Geisler. We have people that are retired Army colonels. We have scientists, right? We have people that have started their own business. We have people who have bought businesses and sold businesses. We have a mix of full-time people, part-time people. So right now we have a gentleman who is going out, and he's gonna do an internship with a company where one of his professors works full-time. So one of his professors comes here, teaches part-time at HU. He got an internship at that company, right? So now he's going to go meet people. He's going to go work for someone else. He's not going to work for the professor directly. He's going to work for someone else at that company, but he's still got the professor that knows him, knows the company. It's going to help him succeed there and impress people there, right? So when you have an idea, when that light bulb goes off in that cloud, you have people that will help you. There's faculty, there's mentors, there's other students. There's resources here. We're excited about what your ideas are going to be. So tons of people. Okay. All right. So some of the people in this, I could talk about any one of these individuals, about experiential learning, about economics, about the companies that they've run, about their careers, about what they're passionate about what they can teach. But there's a group of people, a large group of people, that want to see you succeed and want to know what your ideas are. They're eager to listen. Okay. Here's some examples of students and what they've done in their internships. So on the left, that's Marcus. He did an internship with a U.S. Senator down in Maryland, right? Pretty cool, right? Got exposed to Washington, D.C. and met all kinds of people. On the right, that's Rohini. She got an internship at Fulton Bank. She started in the help desk, just helping people with IT problems. She impressed enough people that they gave her a second internship in their business analytics. Right. So now she went from help desk to actually dealing with large sets of data and helping existing employees interpret that data. Right. That's her job, is to help people know about the businesses that they're already working in. Right. I think that's pretty cool. Here's an example of interns that work for the state of Pennsylvania. Right. So state of Pennsylvania, the Capitol Dome is it's right across the street from the campus. We've had students work in the Treasury Department. We've had students work in the human resources. We had a student in human resources work on revamping, on changing the way the state hires people, right? So imagine if you got a job working for the state of Pennsylvania. You want that process as smooth as possible so that when you go to work for the state of Pennsylvania, you hit the ground running and you're successful. That's a pretty important process, right? One of our students working on that process for the state of Pennsylvania. Very, very cool. Okay, here's an example of students who put on a concert. Now, when I say put on a concert, I don't mean they're the musicians. I don't mean that they performed. What I mean is they were handed a budget, a real budget of real money. This was their responsibility in this course that they took here at Harrisburg University. They were given real money and told, hire a band, pick a date, pick a place where they're going to perform, and sell tickets, and see if you can make money. That was their goal. We call them concert. We call it concert club. That was just a quick name. So they're wearing these concert series and concert club T-shirts, but they worked hard, but they had a blast at picking. They first picked like a genre of music, and then within that genre they picked a band, and then they started negotiation with that band. Then they wrote a contract. They had writers on the contract. They picked a venue, had a contract with the venue, and their whole goal was to put a band, a venue, a stage, right, and a crowd of people together. So they had to make money, and that was pretty exciting stuff. That was real life. And when you go to the concert, right, you've put all this effort in that semester. You've done all this work, and it's kind of dicey. It's kind of risky, right? And then you go to the concert and you have a blast, right? And if you think about it, music is kind of changing and innovating. People like to listen to music. They always have, they always will. People like music. And now with COVID-19, we can't go to concerts anymore. So what are the musicians doing? What are the venues doing? What are they trying to do? How are they going to stay in business? What can they do, right? Just like the food supply chain problem, COVID-19 is changing things. So we're teaching concert club, right? And then this semester, it all changed, right? So the gentleman there in the gray beard, all of a sudden his lectures for the rest of the semester just went to business disruption. What is business disruption? How do we handle it? How do we go forward? How do we keep up with other people in the music industry? Fascinating stuff, fascinating. And that's business in the 21st century, and that's business at Harrisburg University. Okay, here's an example of a student, started his own company, right? This picture of Love Lost. How did he do it? Not only do we have lectures and classrooms where you're going to study business and you're going to study technology and science, but we also have a Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship, the CIE. This center runs events, camps. But basically, if you come up with an idea, you can go to one of the CIE's idea camps. And it's just an idea at this stage, just a crazy idea, right? But some of the crazy ideas are just brilliant, right? It's something nobody ever thought of before. So you come to these idea camps, and then you get assigned like a mentor, and you have conversations. And I wouldn't say assigned a mentor. It's kind of like it's a two-way street, right? You don't you're picking a mentor as much as they're picking you, right? But you team up, right? And you talk about, do you have startup venture skills, right? Have you done this before? Well, maybe a different mentor would be best for you, right? That kind of thing happens. Eventually, you go from idea camp to like a really feasible, real solution, and then you pitch it to real investors. That's what the CIE is about, right? And that's what the gentleman in this picture did. He started a clothing store. This same picture, the same gentleman. His name's Fred. He started with his clothing line store. So he's got these emblems. He's got these brand image, right? He has this brand image of this clothing line. And I won't go into exactly how it happened, how it occurred, but he's passionate about his brand image. So much so that it started with clothes. And I want to brag on Fred for just a second. The number of times people told him no, not interested, don't care about your clothes, right? He just would not take it no for an answer. He was determined. He went to a retail store, went in and said, I would like to see if my clothes will sell here, right? The owner of the store said, no, thank you. He came back. He was told, no, thank you. He came back, right? all the time he's going to the CIE and talking to his mentor and saying, how do I do this? Like, how I got to keep going. I want this, right? So he goes back to the store one more time and starts telling the store owner about all the things he's doing at HU, things he's learning, and he's passionate about this. So finally, the store owner says, "Okay, good, try it. Let's put up one line of clothes." It sells well. The store owner comes back to him and says, "You get 2 racks next time." That's Fred. That's his network of support. That's his determination. That's the things that he's been learning in class. He's applying it and he's winning. Okay. Rachel's here with us today. Okay. She wants to study leadership. She may talk about this. She's going to talk about her own thing, but I want to brag about her before, and you can ask her questions. She is interested in how leadership and success of a company goes together. That's what she's kind of passionate about. She wants to study. She wants to know more about that. How does that work? Leadership is such a touchy-feely topic. How do you tie that to numbers and dollars and production and sales? Those are 2 different worlds, but those 2 worlds live together within a business, and that's what Rachel wants to study. Okay, but she's going to talk more about that in just a second. Nigel, love this guy. He's awesome. He takes so many different courses, so many different places. He just wants to learn everything. Every semester I would ask Nigel, "Oh, Nigel, how are you doing?" I'd meet him in the hallway. And we would start a conversation, and he would say he wants to do this next. And I'm like, "Oh, that's cool, but that's different than what we talked about last time." And he goes, I know, right? Yeah, right now, what he wants to do is come back to HU, get his master's, and teach at HU, because he loves all these different topics. He loves studying them. He loves talking about them. That's kind of where his passion is. So he wants to come back and actually be a teacher. So that's his dream. As of today, we'll see where Nigel ends up, but as of today, that's what his dream is. Okay, so I tried to answer the question, why is a business program here at HU? And then I tried to answer the question, what does that mean to you? Like how can you see yourself being a student here? Well, if you're seeing yourself as a student here, I want you to know that when you come here, you're going to work hard, you're going to study hard, you're going to do great things. And I could talk about Danye here in the picture on the left. I could talk about Naya and these other students on the picture on the right. I could talk about, they all have individual stories of things they want to do and great things they have planned. But that hard work pays off here. This is where the team of professors and advisors and counselors and financial aid people and librarians and this is where it all comes together at graduation, at commencement, and this is what we want to see you. So I tried to answer those 2 questions today, but really what I'm interested in is you answering those 2 questions. I want to hear what your ideas are and how you are going to shape the 21st century. Okay, so that's I could talk about this all day. That's my spiel, right? That's my presentation. I'm going to hand things back over to Aaron. Okay, and I'm sure you have lots of questions. I hope we saved enough time, but that's everything. Okay. All right, Aaron. How you doing, buddy?
Thank you very much. So actually, I want to invite Rachel on real quick. And I would actually just like Rachel, if you're able to, just talk a little bit about your experience in the MEBA program and just what it's like to be a student at Harrisburg University.
All right. Well, thank you, Aaron and Dr. Penn for talking to us about the MEBA program. And I would say that I'm also a previous student of Dr. Penn. And I've been to a few of his classes and had a wonderful time arguing with him in class. And I would say that the biggest part that I've enjoyed about being a student in Harrisburg University and being part of the MEBA program is that I get to see my ideas come to life. And as Stephen Penn has mentioned, I really enjoy talking about leadership. And as one of my favorite professors has stated, business is like black pants and it goes with everything. And so you may be coming to HU and seeing the science and technology name written in it, but without business, there would be no university. And without business, there would be no science building. Without leadership, there would be no unity and no responsibility and no culture and no vision. And that's what I see leadership is. And leadership is everyone's business. No matter where you are and what position you are in, you are your own leader. And whether you decide to work for a company or go into that, you are still a leader. And so my research that I'm doing, and part of HU, is what it offers is a project 1 and a project 2, and then later on an internship. And so the past semester, I completed my project 1, which is on toxic leadership and the effects it has on employees and organizations. And hopefully, if you join HU next semester, you'll be able to attend my project 2, which is me hosting a seminar at HU talking about toxic leadership and how to prevent that. And that's one of the biggest opportunities I have being part of the MEBA program and getting to see my ideas and my vision come to light. And the professors have given us not only the materials we need to go forward, but help us. And there are advisors and our friends, and I can talk to them. And sometimes they're busy and can't respond to emails, but other times you can catch them and you can, interact with them, and they can tell you like, hey, I think you're really good at this, and I believe in you, and I trust in you, and I think you can do this. And that's what business is all about, is getting those mentors and advisors and helping you succeed in your vision and your goals. And the MEBA program allows you to do that. And especially with technology on its side, we bridge the gap between business and technology. We are the communicators, and we are the helpers, and we're the hands that make that technology happen. And so without the MEBA program, there wouldn't be a school.
Thank you very much for that, Rachel. We really appreciate you being able to share some information about your experiences with MEBA and what you're working on. And we did have a question that actually popped in for Dr. Penn, and it's really along the lines of entrepreneurship. Are there any connections for students to be able to get connected to investors throughout the program if they're working on projects or through their internships? Are there any connections to investors with entrepreneurship through HU?
Yes, that is what that is what the Center for Innovation and Entrepreneurship is really about. I mentioned the idea camps and the Shark Tank sessions, but the gentleman that runs it, right? He teaches in the MEBA program too, right? He teaches it, so you can get to know him as a professor, as a in class, but you really want to get to know the people in the center if entrepreneurs is your thing, because part of his job is to reach out. He's got investors from the local area, right? From New York, from Colorado, from California. He's reached out to lots of people. Different investors specialize in different things. So he's got this broad spectrum of people that are looking for new ideas to invest in, and a lot of investors are interested in science, technology, medicine, and we have all those things happening at HU. It's very possible that somebody in biotech could come up with a new assay that does some test, like, and I'm just saying COVID-19, so on everybody's mind these days. Well, that biotech student that came up with that, right, probably doesn't have the things that Rachel was talking about, right? The leadership skills, the communication skills, the vision skills, the organization skills. So if we could team up somebody who has that thing and then a business person to bring it to a new company, investors will be very interested in it. And yes, the short answer is yes. Lots of people in the CIE want to do that. The long answer is any scenario that you can come up with as a student, we can figure it out.
And also along that lines, you mentioned biotechnology, for example, with COVID. With student-based projects, do you see a lot of cross-coordination between programs at HU, like MEBA students interacting with science students or technology students?
So yes, so we design courses in MEBA the technology courses that we teach within MEBA, and even some of the more research-oriented courses that we teach in MEBA. Some of the courses that Rachel is taking to write these research papers, so that different students from different majors will come and take these business courses, right? And we also encourage you, not only do we have entrepreneurship and these other concentrations, but we also have other concentrations where you go and study computer science for a little bit, right? And business, and try to bring those two worlds together, right? So we're very interdisciplinary, we're very multidisciplinary. And so we try to team you up with other students as much as possible, and you team up with other students. So we have examples. One idea of these two students, one biology student, one business student, they wanted to study when a pharmaceutical company comes out with a new antibiotic, right? They wanted to answer the question, what's the economic impact? Like what's the cost of developing that antibiotic? What do they need to sell it at? What? And so they were dealing with not just the issues in the lab of a new antibiotic, right? But they were dealing with social issues and like, what's a good price to sell it at? What's an economical price to sell it at? How many people is it gonna help? What's the cost in production, right? So that's biology and business coming together. There's other examples of that. Interactive media and computer science and business students get together all the time. There's one student that's trying to develop a virtual reality app to teach business skills, right? So that takes a business person plus an interactive media major to bring that together. Lots of examples of multidisciplinary, interdisciplinary approach to solving problems.
Wonderful. Thank you very much. And it shows that we are at time right now. So I'm going to go ahead and conclude today's webinar, but I want to extend a special thank you to Dr. Penn, Dr. Geisler, and also Rachel Skinner for being with us here today. We really appreciate you being able to take the time and give more information on our MEBA program. And keep in mind, everybody, going forward, tomorrow's or next webinar will actually be on integrated sciences. So if you are expressing interest in those programs, please feel free to attend or sign up if you haven't done so. And also, too, if you have direct questions about the program or would like to get in contact with anybody, reach out to your admissions counselor, and we can certainly help you out with that. Our emails are undergraduateadmissions@harrisburgu.edu. But we hope you're all staying safe. We hope you're all well. We thank you for your time today, and enjoy the rest of your day. Bye, everybody.